Hello everyone, in this recording we'll discuss how to visualize the results from topic models. Remember there are two kinds of outputs, the topics and the memberships. We're going to study how to visualize them separately. So first, starting with the topics. Remember, a topic is a distribution over words. So we might have V vocabulary words. Each one of them is going to be associated with a weight. When you sum all those weights up, you get 1. What are two natural ways to visualize these topics? One, you can try making a faceted bar plot. Second, we'll see how you can use a heat map. Okay, so here is the faceted bar plot approach. Here there are 4 different topics. Each bar corresponds to one word. We filtered out the words which have really small probability, and this is what we get. So you imagine topic 1 has a lot of weight on this word, these couple words, these words, and then relatively low on the rest. Okay. So that's how you can make a bar plot. It's not that informative for a few reasons, right? Maybe the most important issue is that you can't really tell what the words are, right? If I tried adding the names of the words, there would just be way too many. Right? So one alternative, you can try making a heat map. And so here is the corresponding visualization as a heat map. But then it's also still there are too many words to be able to label, right? You also have lost the ability to really compare the probabilities of words. So you get a sense like, okay, these are high probability words, but is it really that this word is how much higher than this word, right? We don't really have any way to tell. So can we do better than just a bar plot or a heat map? Okay, so issue for both of these is just there are just too many words, right? So the typical kind of workaround, especially if you're sticking with something static, is we need to focus our attention onto something that's interesting. Okay? So how do you tell what is the most interesting word within a topic? There are a few strategies. Right? The first could be, what are the most important words overall? So just look for words with a probability above some threshold. Okay? Another is you can look for each topic, what is the most important word? Right? What is the highest probability word for each set of topics? Right. This is a bit better, right? But it still suffers from a kind of basic issue, is that you might have words which are appearing in this kind of top per topic list just because they're really common words, and not really because they are kind of intrinsic to that topic, right? A more interesting way to get at these intrinsic to the topic type words is to use something like a discriminative word. Right? What are the words which are really common in one topic, but not so common in another? Right? That's, in a sense, a discriminative word. Okay, so let's look at how you can implement these few different approaches. Here, I'm trying to find what is the most common word within each topic. And so here, top 10 grouped by topic. And we're making a faceted bar plot, but just those top 10. And what you're able to see is like these words all correspond to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. These words all correspond to the worlds. Basically, it's learned the 4 underlying books. Now, something that we've done here that's not that common in all our previous visualizations is we've ordered within each of the facets. Right? Usually when we use reorder, we're reordering against just one axis, and it's not separate across facets. Right? So how can you actually implement this? There's this handy function called reorder within in the tidytext package, which allows you to sort within each facet the words. Okay, so this is already giving us something more interesting, but this still suffers from the issue of some words are just really common, so they're going to end up being in the top group of words. Right, so that seems to have happened here in Great Expectations. Don't is one of the top 10 words, but that's probably just a really common word. So it's not necessarily one that's going to be discriminating across these. So to find discrimination, we need to have a notion of, we need to have a discrimination measure for each word, right? So this is the measure that I end up using. It's related to the KL divergence. You don't have to worry about the actual form of the formula, but then you can understand it by looking at this picture. Right? So remember, beta KW, that's the wth word in the kth topic, beta LW is that same word, but not the kth topic, now in the lth topic. The idea is you look at beta LW here, x-axis beta KW, y-axis, the color is the value of this formula. So you're going to have a really high discrimination measure when you have really low probability in beta LW, but really high probability beta KW. Right? So this is a word where for topic L, it's just not that common, but topic K, it's really common. Right? It might be 0.75 versus 0.5. Right? That is going to have a really high measure D. Right? And you do this for every pair of topics, K and L, and then you just take the largest across all the pairs, and that is your measure of kind of how discriminative is this word across all the topics. Right? You can now try sorting all the words according to this measure and just visualizing those words. Okay, so here is just calculating that discrepancy measure. I haven't printed out the formula to compute this, but then it's in the R Markdown. If you go to the code link at the top of this document, I define this formula discrepancy. I just calculate it for every single word. I find the top 200 most discrepant words, and I've sorted them from the most to the least discrepant. Okay, from here we can just make a heat map, and now you're getting words that are maybe not so common, but they have very different probabilities across the topics. Right? And this again kind of reinforces our interpretation of the different topics, right? So Mars, artillerymen, Weybridge, these are pretty common in topic 2, and that's the War of the Worlds topic. But yeah, what's kind of interesting here is we're picking up on words which are relatively rare overall, but which are only appearing in one document versus the other. Okay, so that's another way you can visualize topics. Let's move on to visualizing memberships. Remember, so what is the memberships? The memberships are for every single sample, every single document, you have some probability distribution over the word, or over the topics. Right, so like document 1 is a mixture where you are mostly topic 1 and a little bit of topic 2 and maybe none of topic 3 and 4. Okay, so that's the raw output. Let's think about how you can visualize it. Right? A very compact way to visualize is just use a box plot. Right? So here I've taken the memberships, and x-axis is the topics, and I've just faceted by books, and you can see that like here we know the truth. We actually know where each of these paragraphs came from. If I say that this paragraph is, I know it's Great Expectations, and I plot it against the topics, you can see, okay, topic 3, every paragraph that was actually from Great Expectations has really high probability for topic 3. Right? So we're already able to see that even though we didn't tell the book labels when we trained the topic model, it's able to automatically recover the different distributions of words across each of the books. Okay. So this is already kind of useful, but it doesn't tell us anything on a per document level, right? So yeah, here kind of everything is aggregated. If we want to visualize the individual documents, here are a few approaches, right? One is we can just try plotting the individual documents as points, right? So here, this is just one chapter from Great Expectations. You can see it has a lot of topic 2, and then low in the rest, right? So, oh, I think this actually came out. Okay, so this is just exactly the same plot as the previous one, except I'm showing each point as each paragraph is just one point, and I've kind of labeled the outliers using this geom text repel. Okay. So yeah, this is just, you're able to now see there might be something interesting going on in these paragraphs because they're not purely belonging to that one topic, right? They might be mixing somehow between the different topics. Okay. I find this a little bit less satisfying because you're not able to say for this one topic, what is its mixture across all, or sorry, for one document, what is its mixture across all the topics, right? So I can see, paragraph 99 in Great Expectations has this height for topic 3, but I'm not able to see what is the corresponding probability for the other topics, right? I know that paragraph 99 has some probability assigned to each of the 4 topics, but all that's being labeled is the probability for topic 3. Okay. So to get around this, you can use something called a structure plot. Right? So this is kind of what a structure plot looks like. Each row is one document, so it'd be like one paragraph in the entire collection. And if you can see, kind of each row is actually a mixture of many different colors. Right? So here it's a lot of purple or a lot of pink and then a little bit of red. So it's saying that that one paragraph is mostly topic 4, but it has a little bit of topic 2 as well. Right? And then you can just go paragraph by paragraph and see what is the mixture across those 4 different colors. It's not that interesting in this example because the paragraphs are so strongly assigned to just one of the few topics. Right? Like most of this Great Expectations belongs to topic 3. So there's not that much that's interesting here. Right? But you can imagine in more subtle examples, there's not going to be such a hard separation between topics. And then you start seeing these kind of more gradation where the colors are kind of smoothly varying. Right? And that might mean that within that group, you actually have some gradation across the words that are used. One detail that makes these plots look a lot nicer is you want to have the mixture memberships when they're similar to be placed next to each other on the plot, right? If I had randomly scattered the pink and the red, it might not have looked as nice. Since all the red and pink high mixture are all near the top, you can see this pattern much more easily. Okay? So how are they being sorted? They're actually being sorted using this hierarchical clustering. Right, so it's clustering this gamma matrix, the membership matrix, getting the ordering of the leaves from that clustering, and then just sorting documents according to that cluster leaf order. Okay, so these are kind of basic static visualizations that you can use whenever you have topic models. In next recording, we'll study how you can work with interactivity.